Hey, Adam Napolitano here from Writing in Fire, your health and supplement copywriter. And in today's video, I want to share 4 simple tips that you can start using right away to amplify the emotional impact of any story that you use in your sales copy. So, unless you're brand new to marketing or copywriting, you know how powerful stories are in driving engagement and driving conversion in your sales copy. So these 4 tips are designed to really squeeze the most juice out of any story that you use in your sales letters and your VSL. So let's go ahead and dive in. Tip number 1 is to remember you're not writing a novel. You're not writing a fictional thriller. You're writing sales copy. So one thing that I see quite a bit is a little too much focus on setting the scene of a story or describing the environment in detail. Stuff like it was a warm, sunny day, a cool breeze was blowing in from the ocean. There was just a hint of saltiness wafting through the air. You get the point, right? On and on with that type of sort of writing. And in small doses, and depending on the story, that can be okay, and it can actually add to the vividness of the story. But the focus should be instead on people and actions, because those are where most of the emotions come into play, right? The main characters of the story and what happened to them or what they did is going to create the most emotional impact. So when you're telling a story, you want to focus on the people, especially the main character or characters, in the events that took place in the story. Tip number 2 is don't forget to tell the reader or tell the viewer how the people felt. So again, going back to the main characters of your story, it's one thing to actually tell the story, tell who was in the story and the events that happened to the main characters. Don't forget to tell people how they felt, because that adds an entirely different emotional layer to any story that you tell, especially if you're kind of using a classic going from hell to heaven type of story. How did they feel when they were down in the dumps at their lowest point? How did they feel? What were their thoughts when they were flying high, when they turned everything around, right? Don't forget to include their feelings, the main character's feelings, when you're telling a story. Number 3 is a more common one that you may have heard before, but it's really important, and this is really powerful, is you don't need to start at the beginning of your story and go chronologically in order to tell the entire thing. In some cases that might make sense, but a really powerful technique is starting at a point of high action, maybe even the climax of the story, to really hit people with that emotional punch right in the beginning, and then kind of go back, start from the beginning and tell what happened to lead up to that point. That's a very engaging way to tell a story, and is going to get people to stick around longer to hear the remainder of it. And finally, tip number 4 is you don't need to tell the entire story all at once. Now, as a copywriter, telling stories is one of my favorite parts of what I do, and so when I get to the parts of a sales letter or VSL where I am telling that really emotional story, it can be easy to kind of get stuck in that storytelling mode and not want to get out of it, and just kind of want to, spit the entire thing out onto the page at once. And again, that might make sense at times, but what can be a useful device is breaking the story up into pieces and telling it in pieces at different points throughout your sales message. It's a great way to create open loops, keep people around reading and consuming your sales message. So that does it for this video. 4 simple tips you can start using today to amplify the emotional impact of your sales copy. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did like this, feel free to like or share, leave a comment, and if you want to see more content like this anytime I produce it, you should get on my email list. Head over to writinginfire.com. I'll put the link in a comment below. And yeah, that does it. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.